a super chill intro because I got my dishwasher going on in the background. I got my laundry running upstairs. So maybe you're gonna hear all of that better than hearing me. And my dog just decided he wanted to throw up. So we're doing great. But anyway, we are going to be starting a last chance author video. This is something that I really need to start doing, where I need to start cutting off authors when I'm just not enjoying anything that they're doing. And yeah, so this episode is going to be focused on Melissa De La Cruz. If you don't know, Melissa De La Cruz is a very, she writes so many books. She writes so many books, and I've read a large chunk of them, and I have enjoyed maybe one. So she's most famous for writing the Blue Blood series. It's like a vampire series with royal vampires and stuff like that. So I liked the very first book of that, and then I hated the other 6 books. Then I read, the Queen's Assassin series. I DNF'd that, and I was like, okay, I've read 8 books by this author, and I have maybe liked, and I didn't even love one of them. I liked one of them. I wasn't even obsessed with it. So I kind of had written her off, but then I noticed that she has written some non-fantasy books. I like giving people chances. I really, really like giving people chances. So I noticed that she has 2 thrillers out, and I think they both came out literally this year. I don't know 100%. So I just looked them up, and the Headmaster's List, which is one that we're going to be reading and is a mystery thriller, came out in 2023, so this year. And the next one is Going Dark, which also seems to have come out in 2023. I'm going to double check these and give you the exact dates later in the video when I start reading them. But this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about as why are you writing so many books? It's like she just wants to put out as many books as possible and doesn't care about the actual content and if they're any good. But I have not read any of her mystery thrillers. I have only read fantasy books so far. So it is possible I just don't like her fantasy books. So we're gonna give her another last shot. If I give either one of these a 4 or up, I will continue to pick up thriller books by this author, but I'm still done with the fantasy side of things. I'm not picking up any other fantasy books. I say that, and then my immediate thought was, but what if one sounds really good? No, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it unless I see people raving, and then maybe she's learned something about her fantasy writing in the future, hopefully. But we're gonna give these a shot. I don't know which one I'm gonna start with. I feel like this one's definitely the one that's drawing me in more. This one is more of your traditional, young adult, generic mystery kind of thing going on, and it looks like there's a true crime podcast kind of thing. This one almost seems like a parody kind of thing because it's not true crime, but it's mystery thriller relating to influencers. So that sounds pretty interesting at the same time too. So I don't know which one I want to start with. I feel like I might read the first chapter of both and then decide based off of that. So this is going to be the first episode in maybe a long series. I don't actually know how many of these I actually have because it's very rare that I really don't like an author. My first episode should have been Sarah Penner, but I try to give them a couple books. I've only done 2 by Sarah Penner, so I might wait till the 3rd Sarah Penner, which will come out, I'm sure, next year sometime. I don't know what it's about. Nothing's been released. But she's on that list. She's on the I really should not read any more of this author, but I'm going to give her a 3rd book as well. So that is going to be an author that'll probably be in this series as well. But we're going to focus on Melissa De La Cruz, who has wasted so much of my time and is now hopefully not going to waste anymore. I really hope I like these. They sound up my alley. I'm much easier to please when it comes to mystery and thrillers than fantasy books. Okay, so I read the first chapter of this one, and I said I was going to read the first 2 chapters of both books, but I think I'm just going to read this one. I'm kind of in this one already. I like the formatting because it's they did an initial interview and then they did the police report, which is really cool because it wasn't just worked into the writing. It was a separate document kind of thing. And then there was a little excerpt of a podcast thing. So I was like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. And it turns out we're following our main character, Spencer. who was in the car with an ex-boyfriend, someone who was a loner, and then the kid who ended up dying, who was like everybody's favorite. He was the youngest of all of them, and it's really sad. And Spencer's super, super injured, and it's just starting off like pretty interesting compared to what I was expecting. So I am excited to continue reading this one, and I'm going to be reading this in the millions of sprints that are currently going on. Sid Bookworm's on sprints, Meg with Books is on sprints, and Becca is on sprints. So trying to juggle all three of them, but I will give you an update when I get to 50 to 100 pages to let you know what I'm thinking about this. But so far, my hopes are pretty high with this one. This is really awkward because it's been 20 pages since I updated you. And, it's a DNF. I literally can't believe it. It's just so painfully obvious about what's happening that I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. And then I but I looked at the end of the book, and yeah, like there's one thing that like happens that obviously I didn't see coming, but it's not enough that I would have rated this any higher. I feel like if I'd gone to the end of the book knowing what I knew and how obvious it was what was going on, and that was the only little twist that I didn't know, it's not going to get higher than a 3. I mean, it's just not. It's not going to get higher than a 3. It's just, and at this point with an author I have it consistently thought was mediocre or did not like, a 3 is not going to cut it for me. So unfortunately, this is a DNF at under 50 pages, so it's not even going to be counted as a DNF. That's like almost more insulting that I couldn't even get that far into it to count it in my reading as a DNF. So I am going to be moving on to the other book, Going Dark, hopefully. This is the one I wanted to read less than the first one. The first one seemed like a young adult thriller, and that was the problem. The Headmaster's List is so generic that there's nothing new about it. Nothing. Like, it was so easy to guess what the actual, like, thing was happening was, that it was just painful. So now we're gonna attempt Going Dark, and this could be the shortest reading vlog known to man. I'm going to try going into it with an open mind. I was really excited about the Headmaster's List until they gave away basically the ending within the first 40 pages. That I'm just hoping this one's more tricky, or it does something at least a little bit different that I haven't seen in 1,000 other thrillers that I've read. So yeah, let's attempt this one now. It is Wednesday morning, and I have work in a little bit. When I say morning, it's 11 o'clock. I've already been up, taken the dog out, fed the dog, and then got back in bed because my back is hurting. I was feeling a little rough this morning, so I'm going to heat it before I have to go to work. Anyway, I did end up reading some of, was it Going Dark? But guys, this is an adult book. I was not expecting that. I was reading it, and I was reading like what is it? I was reading the Dust Jacket, and it literally says, like, right up here, new adult thriller by Melissa De La Cruz, and I was like, wait a minute. And it definitely reads differently. Like, her writing is different. I would still say it's a bit young to be considered adult. It's like almost between adult and young adult, because the characters are like young college, like freshman / sophomore in college, so they're 19, 20. So they're still like they're still young. We didn't go like mid-20s to later 20s, which is kind of what I wish they had done. But this is interesting. I'm invested. I'm about 42 pages in, I think, is where I stopped. I'm invested. We are following our main character, Josh. It's got a Gone Girl thing going on. It feels like a mix of Gone Girl and the real, like, Amanda Knox case, but there's nothing about it other than, like, the Amanda Knox case, other than that it takes place in Italy. That's the only thing that reminds me of the Amanda Knox case. But there's some reason I'm getting this, like, true crime vibe off of it, as well as Gone Girl. but not like the twist. It just feels like the beginning of Gone Girl, where our like girl is missing. She's gone missing. So we're following our main character Josh, and he is the boyfriend of this girl. They just had this like really long, amazing weekend in Rome, and when they were like a couple hours from getting on their flight, they got into this huge fight, and she packed up, disappeared, and did not meet him at the airport. And he got on the plane and came home. So when he gets back, everyone's like, well, where is she? And then he's like, I don't know. She didn't come to the airport. She left me. And so everyone's like, what the heck? So now he's like, oh, I guess I probably should have stayed with her. And then his suitcase is missing. I don't know if that's going to end up being important. I'm curious if like she packed something in there as like a clue or something. I don't know. But his backpack or his whole suitcase has gone missing, so he doesn't have that. She's still missing. She's not contacting anybody. She's best friends with her boyfriend Josh's roommate's girlfriend. And so the girlfriend of the roommate is like really upset and trying to figure out what's going on. And we've just introduced one of the other main characters, and her name is Harper. And she's a sophomore at Caltech, and she's like a hacker kind of person, I think is what we're going for. But she's really good at programming, and she does some like shady side business of like tracking phones, doing all this kind of stuff just to make a little extra money to pay for college. And she just got approached by the best friend, and the best friend wants her to do something. We haven't gotten to that part yet, but I'm assuming she wants her to track her phone, I think is what we're going for. It's good. Like, I'm really enjoying it. I don't know where this is going, and it's very interesting. And the social media aspect of this, I thought it was going to be much more like spoofy kind of thing going on, but it's actually just she's an influencer, the girl who's went missing. So her going missing has like stormed the internet, so everyone's like freaking out, claiming the boyfriend had something to do with it. So Josh is freaking out and deleting his like social media accounts, which is just making him seem more guilty. So 42 pages in, and there's a lot going on already. I'm impressed with it. And yeah, this is going well, but again, we're gonna see, because I said the other one was going well 20 pages in, and then DNF'd at 32 pages, so we're gonna see. But maybe I just don't like her young adult books, because the last one I read was definitely young adult. It was following high school kids, age kids, and then the fantasy books were also young adult following high school age kids. So maybe it's just her young adult books I don't like, and she just hasn't this. I think this is her first adult fiction book. I don't know, but we're gonna check. We're gonna keep reading. I also love this cover. Like, it's so good. Like, it's so good. So I'm going to shower. I gotta shower first. I work today, which really sucks, because I would like to just stay home and read this and finish it and finish this vlog rather quickly, because this is gonna be a quick vlog since I DNF'd the first book. But yeah, I gotta shower. I got to sit down and read for a little bit, and then I gotta head to work, which I really don't want to do today. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep reading and update you when I get to something exciting, or if I DNF the book. I don't know. We'll see. As usual, my fan is on as I'm in this room. Okay, it is Thursday morning. I worked last night, but it was super dead. It was dead last night. So I was able to read another like 50 pages, I would say probably more, maybe more like 70, in this book. And I think I know like what's gonna happen, because it is, how do I say this without ruining books? It is very similar to a very popular thriller book by a very popular thriller writer, and this very popular book got changed into a very popular, I really like it too, movie with a very popular actor, and he has been in the media a lot lately for his relationship choices. That one, I feel like that is what is exactly happening in this book. There are a couple of like differences, like it just left off on like a oh my gosh moment kind of thing happening. So I don't know exactly if like I don't know if it was like a red herring making the book so similar to that one, and now it's gonna like switch paces and it's something else, and we're doing like the unreliable narrator kind of thing, or if it really is just straight up that book. So either way, I'm still enjoying it. Like, I'm definitely gonna probably finish it today. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. There's only one part of the book that I haven't liked so far, and I think it goes back to this author just having an issue of knowing what to put in a book and what not to put in a book. I've noticed that in this one. But like I said, we're following Josh the boyfriend and we're following Harper. Harper has become a little bit of a bigger plot line. However, you're not really like talking to her. Harper's chapters are the missing girl Amelia's video vlogs and her blogs. Like, it's literally just transcripts of her YouTube posts, her social media posts. And so they get kind of boring and repetitive. Like, I get she's trying to like, I get the author is trying to set up the scene and make you like see what the character is seeing the whole time. But I don't need like 20 pages of her talking about where they're going, her dreams, all this kind of stuff. I don't need that. And I started getting so bored because that happened at work. So I was reading that whole section at work and I was like, what is the point of this? And then during like the blog posts, you'll get interjections from Harper talking about little things, which I feel like are the most important parts. Like, some of the other parts you can kind of skim over. So, and then it kind of led up to like this important moment that you had to read, actually. So I get it. It just feels like it's major filler, even though I feel like they're trying to get you to know Amelia, the missing girl, since she's not actually in the book. And this is the way they're putting her in the book. So I don't know. That is like the one part that I'm like, I'm not loving that. So I'm hoping it doesn't just like continue through the book. I got a new ring light, so we're gonna see how this works. I don't know how I like it. Good thing I'm not any taller, because this is like as tall as it goes. I'm 5'1", so I can't imagine anyone remotely taller using this, because it would not work very well. But anyway, this is the end of the vlog because I have finished Going Dark. I actually finished it yesterday. It is Friday morning. But I just got really busy last night and I started reading something else for a new vlog that you guys were voting for on my channel that you'll see in the next one. That's why you gotta subscribe. But yeah, I finished this Thursday and it gets a 4-star, guys. Like, I literally can't believe it. I literally can't believe it that I did this Last Chance author vlog and they won. Melissa De La Cruz won in this video. This is authors 1, me 0, because I have to now try out this specific genre. So this is specifically for adult mystery thriller, because it was a fail on the young adult mystery thriller side. I may still try something, but definitely if Melissa De La Cruz puts out another adult thriller, I will be reading it. And I don't know if it's because I did a little bit of research in this one because I was logging this for Rumathon, and it talks about indie authors or not indie authors, but indie publishing houses. And this book, I wonder if it was like a pet project of hers, because this was published by a different publishing house than her normal publishing house. This was actually by an independent publishing house that has done none of her other books. So I'm curious if like her normal publishing house wasn't interested in her adult writing and she had to go somewhere else to publish. I don't know how that works. I kind of thought you were on contract with like one publishing house and you couldn't publish anywhere else, but apparently not, because she published with this independent publishing house. So maybe I just want her independently published things. I don't know. But I really, really enjoyed this. It's definitely a very close ripoff of the very popular thriller book / movie. However, it is different enough that I was still totally engaged. And I think that Melissa De La Cruz did an amazing job of wreaking emotional warfare on me, because I was completely taken in by this book. Like, when the reveal happened, I was like, really? Like, I knew it was coming, like kind of like part of it, but I didn't expect it to be like that exactly. Like, I definitely had no idea about the motivations behind what was going on. So when that was revealed, I was like, oh wow, this is actually really good motivation. This makes a lot of sense. And then the ending was just like, it was really good. It was really good, and I'm really impressed with what this book did. And again, even though I kind of knew it was going on, there was enough newness and enough going on that I was like, okay, like this has my attention. And like I said, the emotional warfare. I cannot believe how well she played me. Like, I was completely played by this book and what was going on in it at the beginning. So yeah, very, very impressed with this one. Like I said, I gave it a 4 stars, so I feel like this was kind of a win. Like, part of me like wants these to be like, yeah, they're the authors, like I was right, I don't want to read anything more, because it marks some stuff off of my TBRs. But at the same time, this is a really good thriller, so I'm so excited I gave this author another chance and possibly found like her niche writing that I like specifically. So I'm excited for her to hopefully come out with new adult thrillers. This was a really fun one. I actually highly recommend this to anybody who wants just a quick, light read. Don't expect it to be fully adult thrillery. This is just kind of there for the fun. So yeah, this one was really great. So that is it for the vlog. I feel like I've learned that authors have different styles depending on what genre they're writing, which I didn't really think about that much because I feel like most authors stick to like a single genre. But Melissa De La Cruz has a lot. She writes a lot of middle grade, which I don't read any middle grade. I'm not very interested in it. She writes a ton of young adult, and apparently now she writes adult, and her adult book is significantly different of how she writes her young adult books. So very interested, very, very interested. So yeah, I feel like I learned something from this, which is always fun. And that's all I've got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't know when I'll be doing another Last Chance author. I don't really have anyone like on my mind. Normally this pops up when I see like a new book out and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to pick that up. So these will kind of just come out as I notice authors that I'm not enjoying and they're coming out with new stuff that I want to try. So that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you subscribe so you catch more of these and other content. Make sure you like the video and make sure you comment down below if you read these or if you have any authors that you have Last Chance for, or you just won't read anymore. It's very interesting. Or you gave another shot and ended up loving it. That's always fun because that's basically what happened to me in this video. So that's all I got for you guys, and I hope to see you in the next one.